Hello class 10, this is unit 2 of your text, Father's Help. So please take out to page number 4. Swami hoped that with this, his father would be made to see why he must avoid school for the day. So he thought that his father is going to find out that why he wanted to miss. But father's behavior took an unexpected turn. He couldn't understand that father is going to react in a very different way. He proposed to send a letter with Swami to the headmaster. So he wrote a letter, gave it to Swami, and asked him to give it to his headmaster. No amount of protest from Swami would make him change his mind. No amount of protest would make him change his mind. By the time Swami was ready to leave for school, father had composed a long letter to the headmaster. He put it in an envelope and then he sealed it. By the time Swami was ready to go to school, father had composed a long letter and he has put it inside the envelope and then he had sealed it. What have you written, father? Swami asked apprehensively. What have you written over here? Nothing for you. Give it to your headmaster and go to your class. I've written nothing for you. Just give it to your headmaster and go to your class. Have you written anything about our teacher Samuel? Yes, plenty of things. Now, why is he asking this kind of questions? Because he too has in his mind that whatever he has said about Samuel is wrong. See, if a person is bad, you will not take time to tell anything bad about him, and even if you say something bad about him, you will not feel that you have done anything wrong. But what about a person who is a genuine one, who is a good one? You will think twice before saying anything bad about him, and that is what is striking Swami so much. What has he done, father? So he asked him that what has he done? That why have you written a letter? Everything is there in the letter. Give it to your headmaster. Everything is there. Just give it to your headmaster. Swami went to school feeling that he was the worst boy on the earth. His conscience bothered him. He wasn't at all sure if his description of Samuel had been accurate. He felt he had mixed up the real and the imagined. Swami thus felt that he was the worst boy on the earth. Why? Because he had said something bad about a person who is not at all that bad. His conscience pricked him. It bothered him that he has really done something wrong. He wasn't at all sure that whether the description that he had given of Samuel was it correct or not, or was it accurate. He thought that he had mixed up the real and the imagined world. Swami stopped on the roadside to make up his mind about Samuel. He thought to himself that did Samuel really deserve this kind of treatment by him? Samuel was not such a bad man. He was not such a bad man after all. Personally, he was much more friendly than the other teachers. So he was much more friendly than some other teachers. Swami also felt Samuel had a special regard for him. Swami felt that Samuel is having a special regard for him. Swami's head was dizzy with confusion. He was dizzy with confusion that what is to be done. He could not decide if Samuel really deserved the allegations made against him in the letter. The more he thought of Samuel, the more Swami grieved for him. The more he thought, the more he grieved. To recall Samuel's dark face, his thin moustache, the unshaven cheek, the yellow coat filled with Swaminathan with sorrow. So he thought about Swami's looks, how he looked. It every time flashed in his mind that whatever he has done, is it correct or not? Choose the correct alternative to complete the following sentence. Father decided to send the headmaster. Telegram, notice, letter, report. What it will be? It will be letter. Next. While going to school, Swami was bothered by conscience, headache, toothache, fever. Headache. The color of Swami's coat was black, blue, white, yellow. Yellow. Complete the following sentence with informations from the text. Father's behavior took an unexpected turn. Swami went to school feeling that he was the worst boy on the earth. Swami stopped on the roadside. Okay, that you have to write over here. Why did he stop by the roadside? To make up his mind about Samuel. Next you have, questions. Where did father put the letter? You will write that he had put a letter in an envelope and then he had sealed it. Next, what did Swami fail to decide about Samuel? Swami failed to decide that he mixed up the real and the imagined, and he failed to decide that what really was what type of person was actually Samuel. So he had given typically a wrong impression to his father. So he couldn't decide if Samuel really deserved the allegations made against him in the letter. How did Samuel look? You will write that Samuel had a dark face, he had a thin mustache, he had unshaven cheek, he had a yellow coat, and this made this is how he looked like, and this made only Swaminathan filled with sorrow. Now, para-wise questions I am giving you. What unexpected turn did father's behavior take? Father's behavior took an unexpected turn, and that was that he proposed to send a letter with Swami to the headmaster about or against Samuel. No protest of Swami made him change his mind. By the time Swami was ready to leave for school, father had composed a letter and to the headmaster, and he had put it in an envelope and had sealed it. Okay. Next, why did Swami feel that he was the worst boy on the earth? Swami felt that he was the worst boy on the earth since his conscience bothered him, and he wasn't at all sure that if his description had been accurate, and he felt that he had mixed up the real and the imagined world. Why did Swami stop at the roadside? Swami stopped on the roadside to make up his mind about Samuel. So, according to him, Samuel was not such a bad man, and personally he was much more friendlier than the other teachers. Swami also felt that Samuel had some special regards for him. Why was Swami's head dizzy with confusion? Swami's head was dizzy with confusion since he couldn't decide if Samuel really deserved the allegation made against him in the letter. The more he thought about Samuel, the more he grieved for him. Again, and the last question, description of Samuel that I have previously told you. He was thin, he had mustache, he had unshaven cheek, and he wore a yellow coat. So that was the appearance-wise description of Samuel. Thank you, class. In my next video, I shall continue with Unit 3.